All right, this is task 2 for 15.1. Okay, so how can we find the balance point of a data set? So we are going to find the balance point of a data set, and this is another way to make sense of the mean or the average. So let's take our data. We're going to look back at the data from task 1. So remember the task that we just barely did, task 1, we're going to look at this data. And we're going to complete the dot plot to represent the data. So our first piece of data was our first person had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to put a dot above 6. And then we had the middle person. I think the second person had, 1, and the third person had 5. So we're going to do 1 and 5. Okay, now we're going to do part B. Just now circle the number that represents the fair share number from task 1. So the fair share number from task 1 was, what did we decide? It was 4, right? Yes, so each one would have 4. That was our fair share number. So let's circle our fair share number on here. So circle the fair share number. And then what is the distance from each data point to the fair share number? Well, let's start with 1. 1 is, if you look at 1, it's 1, 2, 3 from the fair share number. So from 1 to 4 is 3. The distance from 5 to 4 is 1. And then the distance from 6 to 4 is 2. Okay, so each of these is our distance. We have 3, 1, and 2 as our distance. Okay, so what do we notice? What do you notice about the total distances from the data points on the left side and on the right side of the fair share number? So what do we notice about, I'm going to write this in blue. You don't have to write this down if you want to, but what we're looking at here is from on this side, which was the left side, and then also the right side. Okay, so we're looking at those, each of those sides from the 4 to the 1, and then the 4 and the 5 and the 6. Okay, what do we notice? Well, we notice that if we count up the total distances, the total distance from on the left side is 3. Okay, and then on the right side, we have 6 is 2, and then 5 is 1. So we added up the distances that we have on each side. We see that the balance, right? The total distances on each side are the same. Okay. So the sum on the left and on the right side is the same as the sum on the left side. Left and right. Yes. Okay, so the total distances on each side are the same. So a balance point of a data set is that point on a number line where where the data distribution or how all the points lay out is balanced. So we want that scale to be balanced, and 4 is right where it would be balanced. So what number from the data point or the dot plot, what number from the dot plot in part A represents the balance point for the data set 6 shells, 1 shell, and 5 shell? So the balance point is 4. And the fair share number from task 1 are the same. Okay. And these are both called, okay, the balance point or the fair share number. Another word for that is called the mean. The mean, oh, is the mean. And we're going to learn more about that in 15.2.